this piston. And that's a quick check. That's a quick check where you're doing it with your hand, you might be able to feel a little bit difference, but if the whole thing is kind of hot, then maybe not. But you got to check that. And then after here's the valve plate. You're going to want to inspect the top of the valve plate. You're going to want to knock it off. There's going to be gaskets. You're going to want to look at both sides. Very detailed, right? So you understand those patterns. Then we get into inspecting the cylinders that we talked about already, looking at the pistons, and then as a technician, pulling off the pump.
For the broadcast, anyway.
For the 5 minutes? Oh man, I'm so sorry everybody. Okay, so you gotta pull off the pump. And when we pull off the pump, then we look inside the pump and you wanna take an idea, see if there's any galling inside there, right? Because it's so important. You wanna turn the pump and you wanna see how it moves up and down. You wanna check to see, if there's main bearing damage. And how you do it in a scroll, you shake your hands up and down. So if there's main bearing damage because you have lubrication issues from flood back, for example, we have liquid refrigerant coming back and all of a sudden going through and our furthest bearing gets washed out, you shake hands with it. And there's a lot of play with that. You can tell that that's flood back happening. And then checking the wrist pin. So twisting it up and then all of a sudden you want to push down. When you get a top dead center, you can even take a little hammer and tap on it, and then just very gently, if it drops down, you got wrist pin wear. So actually there's a wrist pin that holds the piston onto the rod. All compressor manufacturers have it. And so it's holding that on. And so if that's wore, a lot of the times it's from a slug. What happens is that compressor comes up, tries to squish the liquid refrigerant, smashes it out, and then all of a sudden you get discharge gas pushing down on here. Okay, as that discharge pushing down on here, this piston can't move. So oil would get in around that wrist pin, but now it can't move. And so now it wears and wears and wears, and then it'll go clunk, 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 clunk. And then the last thing is put the compressor back together. So